Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, bringing you another expanded tournament on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This week we're going to talk about Speed Lugia. So Speed Lugia was a popular deck in Standard, and it's kind of waned in popularity there, and it's kind of been up and down and expanded as well. But let's go over the deck real quick. You see the star of it, Lugia-EX. Its ability Overflow allows you to take an extra prize when your defending Pokemon is knocked out by a Lugia, 4 energy, Plasma Gale for 120 and discard a Plasma. And yeah, so this is the card. I mean, this is the main attacker you're going to use. Overflow is a really nice ability, allows you to take one-hit KO, or allows you to take 2 prizes off KOing non-EXs like Raichu or Aromatisse or Trevenant, and then if you can manage to get a KO on an EX, you can take 3 prizes, which is half the game right there. So that's where a lot of the power of Lugia comes from. There are some downsides, of course. You have to have a plasma energy attached to it. It takes 4 energy. 120 isn't actually that much, but Overflow is what really sets it over the top. Additionally, how you kind of manage to have those knockouts is with Deoxys EX. So its power connectability makes your Team Plasma Pokemon's attacks do 10 more damage. So as you see, we have the full 4 Deoxys here, meaning that Lugia with 4 Deoxys on the bench can do 160, which is still not enough to knock out most EXs. However, we do have Muscle Bands, bringing that up to 180 and the knockout range. Additionally, it's important to know that you don't actually have to one-hit KO Pokemon with Lugia. You can two-hit KO them as long as they knock out via Plasma, or as long as they're knocked out via Plasma Gale. And that's important to note because we do have Absol, Plasma Absol in the deck. Now this is one of my favorite cards from this format. As you can see, Mind Jack, Dark, colorless, 20 plus 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This is a nice, efficient non-EX attacker. Plays well with Muscle Band. Its attacks will also be increased by Deoxys, and there's plenty of times where you can set up KO, or you can KO with this guy. There's plenty of times you can just go aggressive Absol, but the best part of Absol is that he can soften up Pokemon for a Plasma Gale, especially if you don't have quite all the energy attached yet. On the Lugia, you haven't found a Lugia yet. Absol is definitely a good attacker. What else is a good attacker is Thundurus EX, mainly used for the Raid Knuckle attack for 30 and to attach an energy from your discard pile. Thundurus can both attack pretty decently. Again, all the attacks of the Plasma Pokemon have to be taken into account that you have Deoxys, so that 30 can easily be 70 or more. And attaching an energy back to a Lugia is really nice. You have to discard those plasmas, so if you need to, maybe you have something like 3 Deoxys on the bench, you hit with Lugia, retreat, Raid Knuckle for 60 if you can't find a Muscle Band, reattach that Lugia and get things rolling again. Additionally, this little guy over here, Colorus Machine, lets you search your deck for a Plasma Energy and attach it to Lugia, and that does not cost you your energy slot for the turn, so the Colorus Machine and Plasma Energy combo is incredible in this deck. There's turns that I have personally witnessed where you can go Lugia, DCE, Colorus Machine. I've even seen, I had one opponent at a Cities when this deck was legal, I believe it was a Cities, go Colorus Machine, attach a normal energy, DCE to their other Lugia, Colorus Machine. So they had 7 energy on the board on turn 1. And looking at the rest of the list, I think it's pretty standard. There are some things I've changed. I think Scramble Switch is not super common, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, honestly. I like Computer Search generally in decks that are running double colorless because there's no real other card that finds DCEs. However, Scramble Switch is so nice in this deck when you have a Lugia that's almost built up or is fully built up, and you just can't risk it getting knocked out. Additionally, going from a Thundurus into a Lugia or a Lugia into a Thundurus to be able to use something like Thundurus Noise is nice, and I'm not sure. I'm not going to defend the choice. I'm picking it because I think it's what I want, and it's a more fun card, but it could be correct that Computer Search is where you want to be. Looking over the rest of the list, Trainer's Mail is something I'm trying out. I originally had a few Acrobikes in this slot, but with the banning of Lysander's Trump card, I'm not sure that you can afford to actually just go through your deck that much. It's possible that you can and you should, but I'm not sure. That's why I have the Trainer's Mails in here. Bicycle I have in here as well. Lots of times you're going to play your hand out. You have a full force set. There is an argument for running roller skates in this deck, kind of Lugia roller skates, kind of this all-in Speed Lugia type build, which can be correct, but I don't know. I think roller skates is a little bit too deep, and I think the deck can function just fine without taking on a risky card like roller skates. And we have 2 Frozen City to punish opponents and soften them up for Lugia. We do have 1 Escape Rope, 1 Switch. I'm not sure which one is right. That may actually be too many switch effects because we have this Scramble Switch. I think generally you want 2. But I figured that sometimes maybe they may promote a Pokemon that can't be knocked out by Lugia intentionally, so Escape Rope will be nice there. Only 1 N because I feel like because of Lugia, you're generally going to be ahead, and if you're not ahead, I'm not sure that you're really winning the game. You know, if there's a point where you're ending for 6 and they're ending you to 6 and them to 2, I'm just not sure if that's really where you want to be. But yeah, so I guess my list actually does have a few differences. This isn't a list I've tested a whole lot, but this is the one that I would go with for now. So I may revisit it if you guys want to see another version, let me know, but we'll see how this one goes. I'm not going to say it's the best in the world, but I think it's interesting enough to try out, and I think my evaluations are correct, but we'll have to see. As an aside, I'm also trying a new format. I'm going to put all of the matches from this tournament in one video, so let me know how you like that. I noticed that a lot of people will watch the first video but not the second, or maybe it's just feel like it's too much of a commitment, but putting them in one video hopefully saves you a little bit of time. It doesn't clog my upload as much, so let me know how you like that. And I'll see you in round 1. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, back for round 1. We will pick Tails because Tails never, well, sometimes Tails fails, but I generally enjoy picking Tails. Let's see, Blaziken, Milotic, Bibarel. Interesting. Okay, well, that's actually a really interesting card. Milotic, Sparkling Ripples. Interesting. Okay, well, haven't seen this deck before, but I guess we'll roll with it. Gonna start with Thundurus here. That's usually your main starter, and we don't have a whole lot going on in our hand. And I will play both of these onto our bench. We'll take the Mulligan draw. Muscle Band is a fine draw. Torchic. Alright, let's see what we're up against here. Bidoof on the bench. So, not sure what this deck does. Maybe I should have known about it. Maybe I should have grasped it from the mulligan. But ooh, no supporter of our opponent is quite nice. Can't knock. I actually can knock this thing out. All right, let's go for it. Team Plasma Ball. Just take another Deoxys, and I'll bicycle to find the energy to be able to attach with Raiden Knuckle here, which we did find. Let's go ahead and Juniper. I'll Muscle Band this Lugia. In case all our opponent is holding a Colress, I don't really want to play another Pokemon down, and don't think I'll need another Lugia for now. So let's just go ahead, Raiden Knuckle, take the knockout. Whoops. There we go. And put the DC on the Lugia. So still need to find a Plasma Energy for that Lugia, but we do have the DCE in hand, so if we draw a Colress machine, we can go ahead and do a big Plasma Gale. Alright, Bibarel, Continuous Headbutt. Ooh, wow, wow, what the? 5 heads! My goodness. Okay, that's okay. 5 heads. Alright, so we just need to find a Plasma Energy here. This is also another spot where something like Computer Search would help us. For instance, Scramble Switch off the top doesn't do much for us now, but Computer Search would, so... Oh, well, there's the Colress machine. And then we will have enough to knock it out, right? 120, yeah. So there's a Plasma Gale for the knockout, and we take a quick victory over that Bibarel deck, despite them getting 5 heads on us. So, opponent clearly didn't draw a whole lot there. Wasn't much of a game, but I don't know. We did see the power of Lugia. We did get the turn 2 Lugia there, even without being able, even without playing a supporter on our turn 2. We just naturally had it. So, We got pretty lucky, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. I'll see you in round two. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, back for round two. Let's see who goes first here. This is one of the decks where I actually don't mind going second. I obviously tail or going first is always better, but you're so aggressive that you can sometimes attack on turn one, and sometimes getting a raid knuckle off, and like we saw last time, knocking out small Pokemon's nice. So definitely not an advantage, but it's not as big of a disadvantage as it is in some matchups. Ooh, Crawdon. That's going to be a big game. And Zoroark. Alright. So the good part is that we're playing against a non-EX focused deck. So if we can consistently Lugia them for two, that'll set them behind quite a bit. The bad part is that Crawdon messes with our plans pretty significantly. So let's start off with the Trainer's Mail. Colorless Machine is fine. And I'll go ahead, Muscle Band, Colorless Machine. And then I think I just attach... So if he evolves next turn, blows up my DCE, then I need 3 energy. Whereas if I attach the Plasma Energy and he blows up one of them, I can still DCE and Colorless Machine. So I think it's better to do this. Could also consider Lysandering this just to set him behind a little bit, but I don't... Actually, I'll just escape rope to do that and pass the turn. So I actually think we do want to get this Crawdon off the board, or the Corphish off the board before it can evolve. And I think we're going to knock out the Zoroark under most circumstances anyway. Oh, he discarded my DC. Wow, that was actually... Wow, that was really rough. I didn't actually know that Corphish had a relevant attack. Interesting. So I'll go ahead. Oh man, so do I actually Lysander now and try and save face? That was pretty rough, but I think I actually do. Wow. We're also drawing pretty dead here, so if our opponent ever draws a supporter and gets things going, we're probably not going to win. Let's see what happens. Alright, so that's a nasty plot from our opponent. Likely getting the supporter they need. Well, I guess we just have to go ahead and discard here. We do get 2 off the prizes now, so that should be pretty nice. And 2 supporters, nice, so that's a pretty big benefit here. We only need 1 energy of any type. Well, actually, now that we have the evolution... Okay, so this is the guy I was talking about, Crawdon. Unruly Claw, they can discard an energy attached to us. They're going to blow up that plasma, so now we need a DCE or any energy plus a Colorless Machine. So, oh, there's a Colorless Machine. Alright, we are running pretty hot here. If we're not running hot at all, we're running pretty hot. And then I'm just going to go ahead and Juniper. Attach like this. Plasma Ball for a Deoxys. And it was our last Plasma Energy, right? Because we have 2 on, 2 in the discard. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and drop this. And then I will Plasma Ball. And I think we take an Absol because that's our most energy efficient attacker. Play the Absol down. I'll burn the Colorless Machine. Our opponent already knows what the deal is. And then I'll go ahead and take a Thundurus just to diversify threats. Thundurus can also buy back our Plasma energies, which will be nice. And then I'll just go ahead and Plasma Gale, discarding one of those. Taking 2 more prizes, and we do have the knockout if we do have game if our opponent has nothing here. Because because we do have the DCE in our hand. We already have the Plasma Energy on Lugia. Alright, so Professor's Letter. So we do have the Deoxys stuck active now. Just need to find a switch effect. So I think the safest play is to attach here. Actually, let's Plasma Ball and look through our whole deck and see if our switch effects are there. Show all cards. So we have one switch, scramble switch, and looks like our escape rope is prize. Oh, we already used it. Yeah, so we have two switch effects. Oh, we didn't actually take anything out of the Plasma Ball. That was a slight mistake too. We should have thinned our deck out a bit. But that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and Versus Seeker for a Juniper. Did not find it. Let's go here. We'll attach like this. And just going to go ahead and ship the turn back. Unfortunate that we missed there, but with only two effects, we weren't, exactly guaranteed to hit. And if our opponent keeps drawing dead, we should be able to get it this turn. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead. We have 19 cards left in our deck. We can burn this, doesn't matter. And I'm just going to go ahead and Juniper. Still missed, wow, but hopefully the trainer's mail finds it. No, interesting. Alright, so we have 11 cards left in our deck, 2 of which are... Oh, actually we got the DCE, okay. Goodness, that was our other out, okay. Let's go ahead, Plasma Gale for the game. Yeah. So, that's round 2. We played against some... No, I wouldn't say the most real decks. 2 spots away, or 1 spot away from the mystery box at time. So, haven't played against the most real decks in the format so far. We've got, actually that game, I wouldn't say we got lucky, but that game we got pretty unlucky to start, but so did our opponent. And yeah, that was basically the match. Hopefully in the finals we get to play against a kind of metagame deck to give you guys an idea of how the deck works, but we've made it this far, so let's see what happens next. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, back for the finals of this PTTGO tournament with Speed Lugia. We're going to go ahead and go first. We're going to start with Absol, so not the best starter in the world, but we have Plasma Ball Switch, so not too much to worry about there. Our opponent's playing Miltank. Interesting. So, I think it's probably safest to go like this. Find a Lugia, and then yeah, they have to have a stage 2 to do anything, so I wonder which stage 2 that is. I think I'm just going to go ahead and double Colorist Machine. And then I have the opportunity to N here, like switch N and hope to hit some more things, but I think in the dark versus Miltank, do I want to do that? I don't think so. I think we can attack this turn anyway, so I think we just want to ship it back, and then next turn we can run the same exact play and just get a little bit more information on our opponent's deck. When they have to ship the turn back. Okay, so Plasma Ball, let's get a Deoxys. Switch, and I'll switch into Lugia. We still have to end here, unfortunately. Oh, but that will be the game. 130, they have 100, they have no resistance to us? Yeah. So we're going to go ahead, Plasma Gale for the knockout and the game. So that was 3 pretty quick, pretty uninteresting matches for you guys, and we finally got the mystery box. Alright. So yeah, I didn't really get to showcase too much of how the deck works, but I guess that's not true, actually. We did showcase a fair amount of how the deck worked, but we didn't get to see it really in play against a lot of the bigger metagame decks. But honestly, this deck is so aggressive that a lot of it is just kind of doing your own thing. Um, we won a bunch of stuff. Oh, next Destiny's packs. That's the big thing, right? Okay, awesome. But yeah, so didn't get to showcase how the deck worked all that much, but I really think that unless you're playing against a trainer lock deck, usually you just want to kind of go aggressively at your objective. So really it wouldn't have mattered too much against what we were playing against because as long as it didn't have trainer lock or energy removal, because we're just kind of trying to do the same thing. Obviously there's decisions that are a little bit different here and there, but really we're just trying to go all out, do our same things, hope we don't run into Pyroar, and kind of make it work. So let me know what you guys thought of the list, thought of the video, thought of my play. Additionally, let me know if you like the one video format or multiple, because it's all up to you guys. And let me know what you want me to play for next week's expanded tournament and this Monday's standard tournament. My name is Kenny Wisdom, and thank you for watching.